Hi, I've never made a video like this, filmed on an iPod, just of me speaking. But I kind of just wanted to, talk about something that, I don't need to plan as and stuff. I just wanted to talk about, gigs and the way people, behave at them. And I remember, a while back on Twitter, it trended this thing that was, gig rules or something like that, and basically it was the rules of gigs. And I just wanted to say some of the things that really annoy me at gigs. I've been to a few and I've noticed things. The first thing is people who, when you're in the pit bit, in the crowd, and they give you water over the barrier. And the people who will get a cup and it will be this full, and they will share it between their friends, but they won't think of anyone else around them, so they'll all drink it, glug this water down, and there's all these people around them that would die of water, but they can't have it because these selfish people who, I don't know if they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing with the water, or, are you just completely basic, but you should be sharing that water. People like that really annoy me, because if I get water, I'm going to take one sip and then I'll instantly offer it to people around me, because I know how desperate people get for water. Especially some people have breathing problems and stuff, and some people are short and it's hard to get air. How selfish are you being if you're just drinking all that water yourself? Second thing is couples who will get right into the crowd at a gig and just stand there with their arms around each other, and everyone around them will be jumping, but they'll just not be jumping. And normally the guy will try and protect his girlfriend, and so he'll have his arm really protectively around her. And I experienced it asking Alexandria in January, and there was this couple behind me, and every time I jumped, this guy would move his elbow around to try and protect his girlfriend, and he would literally be elbow moving in the back, and he knew he was doing it on purpose. He was trying to get me to stop jumping because of his girlfriend, and she obviously didn't want to be there. It's don't get right into the pit if you're gonna do that, you know. Another thing I hate is, I have quite a lot of things, when the crowd will all be pushing around, and there'll always be that one person who blames you for the pushing. So you'll get pushed into them, and they'll turn around and go, "Stop fucking pushing me." And I'll be do you really, this happened at All Time Low, and there was this in the Atlantis set, and Catherine, who I was with, got pushed into this girl, and she turned around and she was "Stop fucking pushing me." And then Catherine was "You really think that this whole crowd of people all moving is my fault?" I know people get angry, but to turn around and just blame a whole load of people being pushed on one person and getting really angry at them, that's just completely stupid. And it makes me really angry when people do stuff like that. When people be pushing and they'll just turn around and start having a go at someone for it, like it's one person to blame. And at this instance, it wasn't. It was the whole crowd pushing around. It wasn't just one person to blame. So that's also extremely annoying. I also hate it when it's the I'll talk about Lowland Atlantis at All Time Low, because that was the worst crowd I've ever been in my life. But I don't really know what was going on. I think it's because people were basically trying to push through the crowd to get to the front for All Time Low. So they weren't really considering people around them. They were just basically, these guys were just, it's guys as well, I wouldn't expect that at an All Time Low gig, but they were elbowing their way through us. I think basically people were just trying to push to get as close to the front as they could, but through people doing that, it basically caused everyone to be falling and tripping. And I didn't really mind it, except it got so bad that I couldn't breathe at one point. It was literally going to pass out, and I couldn't jump and I couldn't move. I kept nearly almost falling over, and I really wasn't expecting that during slowest songs of the set, and I was being pushed over. Actually caused me having to leave the crowd, and I hate it when crowds are like that. It's you can push around for the next band during the gap between that band and the next band. Don't do it during the support band's set, because you're just ruining the set. Like, I know that Atlantis, it was impossible to enjoy their set because the crowd was so shit. I think that's all I have to complain about. So, I don't know, I just really wanted to just do this because I thought this stuff in my mind and I would forget. So if you have any stuff that annoys you at gigs, then leave it as a comment or message me on something, because I probably will agree with you, because I love gigs like so much, but sometimes the crowds just completely ruin it. Oh, and also, final thing, when people go to a gig with the sole intention of stealing people's shit. Like, I got my phone stolen from my pocket, so did about 20 other people at the Blackout in the Electric Ballroom on the 25th of January. If you were there, then hi. If you're like, what kind of sick person goes to a gig and steals people's shit out of their pockets? I got my train ticket home stolen as well that night because it was with my phone. And you're not only ruining the gig for that person, you are ruining the gig for that person, you know? Once you get your phone stolen, you can't enjoy a gig. So not only was my phone stolen, I also felt like I wasted money on that gig because I didn't enjoy it. And basically ruined my whole night. So if you're going to go to a gig with the intention of stealing people's shit out of their pockets, don't fucking go to the gig in the first place, because no one wants you there ruining people's nights. Like, I'm really trying not to get angry because it's late, but yeah, that was my little rant about annoying people at gigs. Yeah, I love gigs, they're the best things in the world, but I just wish people were more thoughtful of others while they're there. So yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble. Leave any comments or anything down below. I love you. I can't do a hand signal because I'm using both hands to hold my iPod up. Bye.